Impact and influence is based on how do you help somebody else get better or become their best. There may not be a dollar attached to that. That's important. Do it without no strings attached. Influence. Leadership opportunity never ceases. It's always there. Seize the opportunity. Take care of people. Grow people. Welcome to the show. We're talking about serve first. Serve first. We're going to talk about how you are in business to serve. That's the deal. It's nothing else. It's simple. Let's serve people. Why is serving clients stronger mindset than trying to keep clients? I can tell you, if you're trying to keep a client, you're always in recovery mode, and that's a struggle. That's exhausting. That's emotional for your team. As opposed to if you just serve clients, if you serve them really well, they're not leaving. Clients don't ever leave good enough for potentially better. Listen to me. They do not leave good enough for potentially better. It's too risky. You're not leaving the local burrito shop because you think you're going to get a better burrito. You're staying with that same burrito because it's decent, it's good, call it what you will, but you're staying. Guy says next door, it's a better burrito. You may want to go over there. Nah, dude, I've been coming here for 2 years. This is good. People don't leave for potentially better. We need to go out of our way to serve them right out of the gate instead of just trying to keep them. You don't ever have to worry about keeping a client if you serve them well. Give customer service free. Free. The product, commodity, or service you sell, that's the charge. But the customer service side, serving them, is free. How does communication help leaders connect with their teams and clients? Good Lord, is that the silliest question ever asked in the world? Listen, people, if you got to answer this question, you're in trouble. How does communication help leaders connect to their team? Communication, you got to connect on their level, communicate on their level. That's probably the takeaway on this question. You have to communicate, and I won't say on their level. You have to connect and communicate in their language. That's more well said, actually. If you connect to somebody and you communicate in their language, they're going to listen to you. If we tend to always speak in our own language, right? That's our ego guiding us. Everyone's going to hear me. That's not real. That's just a figment of your imagination. It's crap. The reality is you need to figure out within a couple of minutes who you're actually engaging, who you're talking with, and then speak their language. And I'm not saying go learn how to speak Italian, Greek, or German. I'm just saying you need to speak in their personality language. And if you do that really well, communicating with your teams and your clients, you speak their language, they're not leaving, man, because it's like you're meeting the 6 human needs. Tony Robbins' 6 human needs, Maslow's theory, Freud's theory. The needs of the human are very specific, but everybody's is different. And so if you talk to somebody just for a little bit, you'll figure out what their needs and wants may be, speaking that language. That's communication to meet their needs, not yours. That's a powerful thing. What happens in the team and the group and the company when service becomes a core value? I can tell you, team members serve each other in a way different level. The respect goes up, the communication changes quickly, and we literally are looking at each other as though the other person is another customer. For us, one of our core values is family, and then we say that it's treat each other as though you would treat your grandmother, the highest level of dignity and respect. And if you do that, it becomes so infectious that serving each other internally. I always say I'm a better customer for no matter where I go. I go get my Ford fixed, I go get whatever fixed. I'm a good customer because I'm in the service business. And so I tell them up front, here's how I communicate. If you can text me and tell me what's going on, give me the price. If you tell me 2 hours, just deliver it in 2 hours. If you can't do it, is it 8? Then tell me 8, and then I'm going to buy into the 8-hour concept. But whatever you tell me, I'm going to be a believer. I trust you wholeheartedly. So deliver on what you state. That builds the momentum. It certainly builds a core value internally, but I see it even on our own teams. They all treat each other with a dignity and respect, and its service becomes first, and that impacts the other. When they hear me say my team matters more than my clients, when they're new to the company, that blows their mind. They're like, no, customer's always right. Customer service is best. That's not my teachings. I don't know where you learned that, but you can forget that because I'm going to teach you differently here. My team is number one for me because if I take care of them, they're going to take care of those clients. I ain't got to ever worry about the client. But service is critical. It's a core value here, and we treat each other the same way internally. Connection influences the way teams perform by breaking bread together, go hanging out together, figuring out stories. They come in on, so we have, it's kind of funny. This office, I'm in the Phoenix office, Thursday's pizza day. So they go to a local hole that's, it ain't even that great a pizza, by the way, but the consistency is what matters in this situation. It influences the teams to come together. And Thursday, the whole team in this office sits and eats a piece of pie together, piece of pizza. They literally sit at about 11 till about 12, and they just share stories. They share stories about their families. They share a story about their pets. They share a story about where they live, about what they drive. They heckle each other. They tease each other. They tell each other how much they care. And because they do that, that impacts us from a service standpoint. Like literally, we walk out, everybody's kind of heel clicking down the hallway. It's kind of crazy to watch them do this, but it happens frequently in all of our offices where we come together, we break bread, we have fun, we talk about things. And it could be a breakfast thing, it could be whatever, but come together because that really, the connection time influences service. Behaviors demonstrate genuine service. I hear it when they're on the phone, or I can see it on portals because they communicate a lot electronically even. And or even our field people will tell us a story when we go around the room in our field meetings. We'll say, tell us about a win. And I'll say, dude, I left, Mary or Johnny a little note on their computer screen on their manager's desk. And then say we're in a McDonald's or a Taco Bell or something. I just left them a note. We'll get emails based on that handwritten note about how exceptional the person was. They didn't meet him. They simply got a handwritten note. And that was really, really, I don't know, that's just super influential. The demonstrating genuine service to the clients, that's the type of stuff I know is genuine. It was heartfelt. They cared deeply. And I see it internally. I watch the responses come back. I hear it in the conversations with clients that, wow, that was unbelievable. And if I listen in on their phone calls from time to time, not picking up an eavesdrop thing, literally hearing them in the hallway passing through, their kindness and the way they care comes through every time. And I just hear this and I walk around, I always tell them I had a proud dad moment. And I mean that very loosely, of course, because I'm just the CEO. I'm not even qualified to be a dad. There's for sure. It's literally impactful to me to where it matters so much. That's what I want our companies to represent is that just that passion about what you do and care. And that's really part of the customer service part of that. So I think the demonstrating genuine customer service or genuine service to our clients, it's those moments. You can hear that, you can see it, you can feel it, and they go home feeling better about what they are because they get a great response from the buyer. Leaders model service during stressful seasons. I don't really know what the stressful thing is. Recently, so cortisol is a big thing. So I've been going through some tests just to make sure I'm in checks and balance here in my health. Cortisol is one of those things they can measure, I guess, and tells you if you're stressed. And mine's flatline. They don't even know if I'm alive. I don't have any cortisol that goes up or down. So stress, I think, in most leaders is one of the things that we condition ourselves to manage, but it isn't an overnight story. I think it takes a while to be able to manage through stressful seasons, if you will. Could be a moment in time, could be the month, could be the end of the season, the end of the fiscal year, you pick. But I think for the most part, leadership truly manages stressful situations, and then not in a panic mode. So your team never sees you panic. It's not that you don't go through authentic hard times just like they do, man. You got, the death in the family, the dog died, the neighbor acted out, something, you got the same problems that anyone else does. I think for me, it's important to set them down and say, here's what I'm going through. And I've done this over the years. I just say, here's what I'm going through. I need your support. I'm going to check out until noon today. I'm going to close my door. I'm going to check out. And here's what I'm going to tell you. But I tell them straight up. And it's so relatable that I've told stories to them before and they've wept. They've literally cried, feeling so much compassion for what I was enduring that I wasn't crying. I was just dealing with a situation, but they were crying because it was so overwhelming. And you give them a hug and you thank them for their compassion and what their emotions are during that moment. And it's kind of crazy, but it's literally, I think, in the higher the level of the leadership style is one, you're able to manage those stressful situations very differently. That also impacts their next level. So those your team members are watching how you manage whatever perceived stress that may be. What would be a burden to them may be a normal day for us in leadership. So it's a very different thing. But I think managing the stressful thing is give it the weight that it's worth. Don't see it worse than it is. See it for what it actually is, and then play that down. The phrase piece of cake, I didn't invent that, but it's literally why people say that. It's literally bringing it back down to where it's manageable. It's a piece of cake. Can you build that building today? Oh, it's a piece of cake. It's really taking something giant and making it palatable, making it doable. So that's why somebody came up with that phrase. But I think that's really important. Just manage your stress. That'll put you in leadership faster. What role does integrity play in building influence? I think it's one of the biggest, most powerful things is they got to see that you care. They got to see that you always do what's right. Sometimes they stumble on pricing for things because they worry about losing money, and I'll put up air quotes for the losing money because that's not what it really means. You may have a project that didn't make money. Say you lost $5,000 on something. Say it's a 50,000 and you lost five. You still made 45. You weren't profitable per se on that specific job, but you were profitable in totality. So if we're a national player, say we didn't make money on two or three projects, but we made money on two or three other ones. In totality, you still got to run a 10 or 15% profit to be able to be in business, turn the lights on and be able to serve these folks. So it's a two-way street. I think the integrity thing is doing what's right. If they try to send a change order in, you say, no, that's not reasonable. You missed it. They didn't. We have to eat that. So they start building on that integrity. I hear them talk about different prices. And they're like, well, just run it by Jim or run it by the CFO or whatever. To control that, they're building their own integrity in the business model. They're building and developing that. Our track record is that our buyers look at our team members and they see integrity. It represents our brand. So integrity is a massive build of influence internally and externally. Leaders strengthening connection through communication. Wow, that kind of goes without saying. If you're not talking, nobody's going to connect anyway. You got to be able to flap your gums once in a while, and you got to pick your topics based on your attendance, who's in the room. But you gotta through connection, you have to connect to people. It's funny. This morning I was writing. Ideas are cheap. Here's one I wrote. Ideas are cheap. Everyone has them. Execution is hard. Very few have that problem. Ideas with execution is money. That's how you get it done. The results you're looking for is hiding in the work that you're avoiding. The results you're looking for is hiding in the work that you're avoiding. If you want to be better, you got to stop avoiding those types of connections and conversations. Yeah, it's literally that's where the opportunities lie is in the connection. And if you're not communicating, if they don't hear you, they're not buying from you. They're just not. It's literally if you got a numbers buyer, then you're not in a connection. There's very limited communication. If you sell to the government, it's all based on numbers. Can't have a connection. If you have clients, true clients that have, a store, a restaurant, whatever that may be, a C-store, hospitality, if you connect to them, they're buying, but you got to connect to them. They're looking for relationships. I think more after COVID than ever, people are looking to connect to people. And to connect to people, they got to be heard. They got to be validated, and you got to speak in their language. Meet needs and wants, you're in business forever. Opportunities expand when leaders operate with discipline. Leaders operating without discipline is what we call bankrupt companies, and that's the 98% in 5 years. They're gone. That's it. It's pretty straightforward. We've been in business coming up on 41 years, and it is strictly based on the levels of discipline that we have with change, that are disciplines that we have with opportunity. We literally use the same structure to make the changes or the shifts. And we don't change just to say we're changing. We change to meet the times of the buyers. Buyers are different today, so you have to shift, but that requires discipline. The discipline to know when to change, also the discipline when to know not to change. That's an important one. The discipline to know when to not change. So society says, oh, it's this, we got to go do this, and we got to become this company. The discipline to know that that's not for you and your core values are your guardrails to win this race. Stay in your lane. Don't just shift to shift. That requires discipline. So leaders operate with discipline. That's when your team wins. When you use discipline to keep going in the right direction that aligns with you, your core values, etc., and what you're here to do, serve others. We're in the service business, serve others, period. That's a discipline. Otherwise, you could just fall into like these other companies. Society change, you got to change. No, we don't. Here's what we need to do. We need to be uniquely different, and we'll stay the course. Use discipline to do that. What does it mean to treat each day as a leadership opportunity? There's always opportunities. If you're not seeing opportunities every minute, every 5 minutes, you're not open. Your eyes are closed. You must be sleeping. Uh, Leadership opportunity is nonstop. People's struggles are real. And if you have any size team, 3, 4, 50, 150, it's real. And those leadership opportunities are coming at you at breakneck speed. If you got your eyes and ears open, leadership opportunities never stop. You can help people through some of their crazy stuff that you may have experienced, may not have. It's the empathy part. It's you got to be empathetic to what they may or may not be going through. But all of that is a leadership opportunity. Every day is an opportunity to rise. Every day is an opportunity to lead, impact, and influence. Every day has that in there. Whether you're a titled leader or otherwise, you still have the ability to impact. You have the ability to influence. Make sure you do that. It isn't monetarily always. Impact and influence is based on how do you help somebody else get better or become their best. There may not be a dollar attached to that. That's important. Do it without no strings attached. Influence. Leadership opportunity never ceases. It's always there. Seize the opportunity. Take care of people. Grow people.